All right, so we're back for the mobile CSP part 2. Go ahead, Scott.
Hi, Scott Kaminsky. I'm math teacher at Trumbull High School. This is going to be my first year doing the mobile computer science course. And our students start tomorrow, so I got all the different paperwork filled out and copied and ready to roll. So I'm just eager to get going tomorrow.
Did you say 5th year?
No, my first year doing
this. Oh, first year. I was going to say, it sounded like 5th. I'm like,
I was doing it before it was even invented. That's how good I am.
Hello?
Excellent. Is that Tony?
Yeah, I just finally got it installed.
Okay, great. So go ahead and introduce yourself.
Okay, I'm Anthony Truss. I teach at Conard High School in West Hartford in the Career and Technical Education Department. It's my first year teaching mobile CSP, and so far I've led my students to 2.01 at this point. I sent out the consent forms, received them. Colleen came to visit today and did an observation with my second period class. We covered algorithms, and every student seemed to have grasped the concept. I'm going to do some formative assessment tomorrow before I move on, and lead students into finishing up their reflections. I have them doing 2 early reflections that aren't described in the curriculum, and it's more or less designed to start the conversation and kind of train them into how to use the Google technology that they're all using. I'm trying to pay close attention to some of the things I take for granted that I would think students would, understand how to use, and obviously assuming there isn't anybody around that has 100% experience with anything. So I assume that there's zero knowledge moving in, and it seems to be going well. I was concerned about pacing, and I thought I was going a little bit too fast, but it seems that the students have, kept up with my pace, so I don't really have any problems at this point.
When did you start school?
We started officially Wednesday with all grades 9 through 12. So this is now my fourth full class with the students. So some of you may be starting or have just started, and must be thinking I went really fast. I forgot to mention that. Good question.
And are you doing a full year or just a semester?
I'm doing a full year. I'm also trying to infuse hardware into this in conjunction with my computer science initiatives. I also have the computer hardware side of things. I'm giving 100% priority to the computer science curriculum. Where I have time, I'm going to supplement it with traditional hardware that I ordinarily taught.
Okay.
Great. I don't think there's anybody new, so you guys will pick up where you left off. Or feel free to jump in with what have you been doing for your first days of class? How are you introducing the course?
This is Michelle. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, I can hear you.
Yes. I was wondering if anyone has configured the tablet yet.
I just received my.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, because I was asking our network administrator what his suggestion was, and he wanted me to just set up like 10 different Gmails. And then I was thinking, well, when the kids are using the tablet, do they have to be logged in with their Gmail?
Not to run the app, not to run the testing. No.
Michelle.
Uh-huh.
I put in one email for every 10 tablets.
Uh-huh. Oh,
and
you
I
do?
have like room 134, room 134, 2. And
right.
Just have 4. And I preloaded it because sometimes the lag time for them getting into Google and setting up an ID, plus you'll get like 15 IDs on there. because they never clean up.
Right.
Even if I have assigned the same tablet, it doesn't matter. It happens.
Right.
So it's easier just to say we're doing it this way.
So you're just using one Gmail, not like, and then just one Gmail. Because I set up a Gmail just for the course this year, and he wanted me to do like 10 different Gmails, and you just do one.
It's too much work.
Okay.
Keep it simple.
Right, and a lot of the kids that have their own phones are already using their phones right now. They're already using their phones, so that works fine. So this is going to be just for the ones that don't. I have several that already have some sort of a phone. Thank you.
Yeah, it's way simpler.
Anyway, so I started like with 1.1. I showed the video, and then the past, because pretty much I've only had the Chromebooks starting we started school Thursday. I had the Chromebooks since Friday. So Friday, all we did was like watch the video 1.1, and then I had them create their own Gmail accounts specifically for this class. And today we did set up their Google sites. And then at the same time, I wanted to do the blown to bits, but like I said earlier, it's for some reason it's blocked by our school server. So tomorrow I'll try to, like I said, download the blown to bits and put it somewhere so they can access it as well. One thing I forgot, I just realized now, is the consent forms. There are 2 of them, right? Or
one's a form, one's just an informational sheet.
oh, okay.
Correct. Thanks.
Yeah, I completely overlooked that part, so I have to do that tomorrow. I have to give it to them.
Please do.
I gave mine out.
Yep, so anybody who has consent forms, asking that you please hold on to them until you have them all, or the most that you think you're going to get, hopefully all, and then give them to me when I see you in person. If I never, ever, ever see you in person, you can email them or send them to me. But ultimately, it's best for us to have the original copy so we don't get into any trouble with IRB.
Yeah, Pauline, I received all my consent forms in the 5th period today. So you want to wait until you visit next, or should I scan and email them to you?
Probably just hold on to them until I visit again. For anybody who joined late, also take a look at the visitation schedule and just make sure it seems okay. And if you have any of the one I posted in the agenda, if there's any objections, then we can talk about it and try to rearrange some things. But that was a first pass at what I was thinking. So just take a look and see what day you fall on and see if it works.
Okay.
Let's see. Dana, you're still here. I was at your class. Tell us what you did for your first day of class, because I thought it was cool.
Let's see. For my first day of class, because I'm really teaching in this program, this design curriculum, and I didn't have computers and the kids didn't have their laptops, we did just a quick design challenge where the kids had to work in groups and they didn't know each other, and it's the first day of class, and they had to create a house of cards that was interesting, and then we used that as a jump-off point to kind of talk about the design process and to talk about the challenges of working in groups, and what kinds of things they liked about it, and kind of related that to the design process of creating apps and what challenges they would face moving forward. And it seemed to work really well, and the kids liked it, and it was a nice way to kind of get into the design part of this without having the tablets or anything else really to work with. So that was great, I thought.
Yeah, and I just want to add in, you didn't mention that you had them keep track of all the steps. You had somebody recording in the group all the steps, which is of how they created the house. And that's a good transition, good segue into also talking about algorithms, right? Because they should be able to give their instructions to another group, and that group be able to build that same exact house that they built. So I think that was a great introduction. They all seemed to work very well together, which was good. And some of them were pretty interesting.
They're very interesting. A lot of them knew Pauline, which was also interesting. They're really excited to see you. And they kept asking, when she's coming back, when she's coming back.
Mm-hmm.
So that was that. And then the second day of class, we kind of went over the syllabus, and I gave them the course outline, and a lot of them were like, what are algorithms and what is all this? And they kind of started asking a lot of questions and getting into it. So there's a lot of momentum, and they're excited to move forward. They're just getting a little frustrated that maybe half the class has been able to log into the CSP website, and maybe half or 3/4 have been able to get their portfolios set up. But we're getting more students ready every day, so hopefully by the end of the week, they'll all be up and running and have access to everything they need to really get started. Yeah.
Great, thanks. I also want to jump in over that. I know a couple of you have mentioned algorithms, a couple of us. We mentioned this before, that lesson 5.2 is called What is an Algorithm? And it was moved somehow out of the beginning of the course. It definitely, as you're hearing about, is a great lesson to kind of do at the beginning. It gives them a good overview of what an algorithm is and what an algorithm is and all the terms that they're going to be expected to know moving forward. Especially with as much as they're going to be working with algorithms. So 5.2, if you have looked that over recently, is a good one to kind of move to the beginning and talk about with them right off the bat instead of waiting till halfway through the course. Somehow it got moved and out of order when we switched things around, and we just decided to leave it there for now and let you guys decide where to put it.
5.2 also, does that include programming activities? So we should obviously avoid those, revisit that when we get to that point, right?
Actually, 5.2 is the Blockly ways. So in Unit 1, it is the code.org, and it kind of shows like the different small Blockly things with code.org. 5.2 is the actual Blockly challenge, which had 10 challenges, where the 10th is the hardest. Okay. So there's that challenge that goes along with it. Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah, you can definitely tie it in as well with the code.org if you did the code.org.
Yeah, we did well, you saw today we did the 20 problems on the code.org. So do you think it would be interesting for them on the 5.2 in terms of the activity, or would it be too repetitive?
I think it's interesting because there's a challenge to it, right? And I think from the past years, if any of the past teachers are here and want to jump in, the past years, the students, you say you're going to have 20 minutes to do 10 challenges and get as far as you can, and they will literally talk you into letting them do it the whole entire class, because they become so focused and it becomes such a competition to figure out who can get the 10th exercise, because it's challenging. So give it a try. The worst case scenario, they get bored with it and you move on. But it's seemed to be real interesting overall with the students.
All right, yeah, definitely. I'll try that tomorrow before I do what I was originally going to plan.
Interesting thing about that section is that I had a student that was autistic, and because of his disability, he had huge reading comprehension problems.
Okay.
And basically, they were going to pull him from my class, and they said, this kid just doesn't have the background to do it. He ripped through that section.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
2/3 of my regular ed kids.
Yeah.
And I went back to the special ed teachers, and I said, you have to learn how to reassess this kid differently. He is showing way more intelligence than your testing is bringing forward. And I showed it to them, and they said, oh, crap, because it's all kinesthetic. It just hits them at a real different level. So and if anybody has to put something in there about different methods of teaching kids that are, get away from the typical lecture method that hit more special need kids. That's a great lesson for it, because it's a time that really it's an even playing field, and these kids don't get even playing fields very often.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. I'll definitely be aware of that.
Shinma, unmute. You're saying something good.
No, I think I agree with you. So there's nothing. I think I'm not sure my students will get computers in the next 2 weeks. So until we have our laptops, I'll just do unplugged activities all through. So I'll move my activities till they get their laptops. So I'm not quite sure for what time scale we're getting our laptops.
Can you show with your laptop some of the things on Parity and have them do some of the unplugged stuff?
No,
and just move it up front?
I have a lot of activities they can do that are unplugged, so that's not a problem.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't have, if I get my laptops as soon as I expect them, then I'll go plugged. But my school, we just moved to a new building. They are setting up our smart boards today. They think we'll be ready on Wednesday before students arrive. But that's really setting up for teachers. So I'll see how we go. By next meeting, I'll have feedback.
Just as an FYI, guys, you are going to have days when your entire network is down. Give yourself a break and go ahead and look up some of the CS Unplugged stuff and put it in there for a repertoire. And have a couple things that you don't have to be up and running online for, because you will have those days. And you still have to teach.
Great. Anybody have any questions they want to throw out there?
I just have one with the what Kevin was just saying with the Google accounts, because I don't have the tablets yet. I haven't set anything up, so each one has to have an email address in there, but it could be the same email address for a few devices.
Yeah.
Make it up on the fly, or you have to register with Gmail first, or how does it work?
You can go on. You can say you want to sign up on. You just have to have it. You have to have it connected to Wi-Fi. That's the first thing when you first get it. And then we'll say, do you want to sign in or do you want to create a Gmail? I believe as long as you have Wi-Fi. You can actually skip through it and get through without signing into a Gmail. So I know, like, Chris, if he's still here, set his up without a Google account at first, right? He manually installed the companion app, but then it doesn't update automatically by itself. So it's better just to have a Gmail and go through the Play Store. It will save you time if it does automatic updates.
I have mine set up to their own Gmail accounts, and basically what's important is that when a kid is doing his app and he wants to take screenshots of it, on the device, he can do that and then email it to himself using whatever the standard email that's in the tablet itself.
So who's checking that? That kid is checking that Gmail account? Like
it's basically we have Google Apps for Education, so it's effortless to make the account. So you just make the account, and then it sits there on the Gmail. You log in the the device, and there's no emails coming in or out because it's a dummy account, really.
Right.
But when you need the email, it's there. So you can be like, oh, a kid takes screenshots. I'm like, all right, now email it to your other account. He's just all right, and he sends it to himself, and he's off and running, and then he gets it up on his blog or his website.
Yeah, so they can sign in and out as they need, right? Huh? They can sign in and out when they need to.
I don't even have them do that. I just have them fire out an email just with the screenshots. I mean, they don't need it for anything else.
Okay.
It's the other aspect of it too is your kids at the end of class are going to put the tablet down and not log out. And another kid could come and pick up that tablet and email out of that kid's email account without them knowing about it. And not a good thing.
Right.
Yeah. If you have your dummy account, I mean, really, kids don't mess around with it. It's boring for them. They don't care. So, I mean, and you could check the sent bin if you wanted to, but you're not going to get anything.
Perfect.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
So it's a requirement that all kids have Gmail accounts?
Yes.
Okay. I thought so. I just want to make sure.
And it's for most people, William, for most schools, if you have a school Gmail account that's set up under the administration of the school, it's too restrictive. I have yet to see a school where they can use the school Gmail account. So they normally have to set up one outside of the school.
I've been able to.
Great, because I have never been able to. I know a lot of people that haven't. The other thing is to give your administrator and your IT person heads up and let them know you're doing that, because in theory, you're opening things up.
Betsy, did you say you have one account for all the tablets in your room?
Pretty much. I think I have 2 or 3, but it's, very limited number.
So if I set up a few, I should do.
Oh, yeah. But the idea is that the kids have their own account for their Google site. They log into the account for their tablet if they need to, but they normally don't need to. But the idea is that they're not, they don't leave their own account open for other kids to see.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Because our kids, they're creative.
Yeah.
That's a really good idea. I'm definitely going to do that.
Yeah, I'll try it this year.
Does any of your school have the Google for Classroom or that district-wide? Would that work?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have Google Classroom as well, but given the fact that the students are going to be building the portfolio, all the work's going to be on the Google site. I used Google Classrooms heavily last year where you assign a specific task. They then can complete it and then submit work to it and check off that it's done. You're then email notified. You then go into that and then give them a grade, which also, if you have a grading system like we do PowerSchool, I have to then put it into that. So I would put grades into 2 locations per assignment last year. I'm thinking about not using Google Classrooms at all this year because the portfolio will allow me to add grade comments at the bottom of each assignment per assignment page. So that was my initial thoughts. Unless anyone else can think of another way we could use Google Classrooms, I thought it was a phenomenal tool. However, the way we're using the portfolios, it seems far more effective and better use of my time just to keep it under portfolio.
Anthony,
site.
The only reason why I would consider using Google Classrooms is for my special needs kids where their assignment handouts can be accessible to their content support people.
Yeah, I also forgot to mention, I do keep a classroom website where I kind of keep all my documents that are created available to download outside of the fact, but you're saying that I could use the Google Classroom just to host those documents so that their resource teachers can access them.
Exactly.
Right? Okay. So maybe I won't expect students to turn in work, but it'll just be more of an announcement resource blog, so to speak.
Yeah.
Okay. Does anyone else use it in any other way to do grading and assessment? Because I can't see how it would be any better than just keeping comments in the Google site.
I know Chris Kerr used it a lot. I was talking with him right in the beginning of the PD. He's not on here right now. I don't know if he had to leave, whatever, but I'm sure if you email him, he's got some ideas because he was nonstop talking about it, showing different ways that he was using it.
Okay.
Obviously not with this course. Actually, he did a variation of this course before he took the PD. So
yeah, I use it heavily outside of CSP. It's a phenomenal resource. If you need to assign and collect work in that way, it's It's the best thing I've ever used. I've used Moodle, I've used Blackboard, and Google Classrooms has been phenomenal. However, I'm just trying to think of how we could use it in the mobile CSP course and have the same benefits.
All my classes that I teach are online portfolios, so I don't hand out and collect in that sort of way. I have modules set up on my my school website, my classroom website, you know, and they kind of trickle out by date, but then they populate their portfolios, and then I go in and assess those portfolios by the due dates. So I mean, they don't turn anything in; they post to their portfolio. And right. I teach face-to-face computer technology classes, and that's what I do. It's just my style. I do all the time.
Yeah, I like that. I like the portfolios. I like it so much as which I'm actually using in my architecture and my engineering classes where they're going to keep portfolios as well. I mean, I like the idea that they're not turning work in. They're posting it to their portfolio, which is publicly viewable by parents and whoever. So they have that little bit of peer pressure to maintain it to their best quality.
Has anybody run into the 100 megabyte limit?
Not yet. I have the Google account district for the education. I mean, I looked under settings, like as a district, we have like 3 petabytes. So I don't know if it's different.
Well, 100 megabytes?
No. The issue is if I look under Google Sites for my Google dashboard, mm-hmm. I've got, for just like in my own private account, I've got 15 gigabyte.
Right.
But that's not what you have for Google Site.
Okay.
Yeah,
you actually only have 100 megabytes.
Really?
Each site comes with its own little pieces of storage, like Betsy is saying. That is going to be used up especially if you're having them attach items. And I'm saying this in particular because I know that Betsy, you have your students in the past, they've been attaching Word documents and PDFs and PowerPoints to the bottom of their Google Site portfolio. I don't recommend doing that, right? For everything, right? They're using the Google Site, have them post right on the Google Site, right? The amount of attachments that you're doing, or put a link to something, the amount of attachments will fill up your storage quickly.
Right. You have the link file.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you could link from Drive.
It's all to the 15 gigabytes,
yeah,
as opposed to attaching it, which goes to the 100 megabytes. When you go under Manage Site, it's about 2/3 of the way down.
Right by the delete button.
The little wheel that you have, it's about 2/3 of the way down. That's one of the first things I show them how to do, is to look at that. It's like one of those, if you don't know it, it really is a pain in the butt.
I have a problem with our school accounts in that after they graduate, you know, the portfolios are sitting on our school accounts and then we delete them after a year. And it's quite frustrating because the kids are all excited about them. I'm like, well, you got to transfer it. You know, you got to take them with you. And you can't just change ownership. Because I found, get this, images don't follow ownership. So you set up your site, everything's there, all the text is there, you transfer ownership. But as soon as you delete the other account, all the images disappear.
Right.
All screenshots, everything, gone.
You should be able to have them copy the site, so share it with, for example, if I had a school account, I could share it with my personal Gmail. My personal Gmail, as an editor, should be able to copy the site and then host it on my own Gmail.
Yeah, but it doesn't copy the images. It's in the help section of Google. It says that if you want the images, you're gonna have to download and re-upload them. And the Google site, that's what it's on the help section. It really just disappeared. Because the photos are stored separately than the site itself.
Okay.
Which is another good reason for having them do it on their own personal accounts.
Right.
I had them create all personal accounts. It was first name, last initial at the school name csp@gmail.com. So there was a protocol, but they have to, you know, make their own. And then tomorrow, just to verify, I made a Google form, and they're going to fill out their first name, last name, grade, and then input their created Gmail, because if it's Robert and he used Bobby, I wouldn't know. And then I'm also going to have to verify that by having them send me one email with that account, which then I'll catalog.
Anthony, I could kiss you. That is such a phenomenal idea.
Thanks. I have to give
Virtual
credit.
kiss.
Mike
That's
Locos
funny.
gave some of that idea.
Sorry, Pauline.
Oh, goodness. PG. Keep it PG. We're on record.
Hey, I'm an old lady, you know? It's like a grandmother kiss.
Yeah, I got a funny dialogue box saying that this meeting is going to end in 10 minutes.
Yep. So
I did too.
we're using Zoom, so it only goes for 40 minutes. So as of right now, we have 7.5 minutes left. And this is
Okay.
part
We're on our
2.
part 2.
Yeah, we're on part 2, so I don't know about you guys, but I'm not going for a third one.
Okay.
I think we can keep our questions for the next meeting. I'll send Pauline an email. Because if we make the meetings too long, it will become a little bit more difficult.
Yeah.
People to join weekly. I know this is the first meeting. We've had 2 sessions. We were supposed to meet for 1 hour. We've had more than 1 hour. So let's either email Pauline the questions and then plan for the next 2 weeks.
All right.
I think
When you get stuck,
I think
CSP, send out a blast email.
yeah.
yes.
We'll
So
help you.
So I think it would be best, what I'm going to do is all these get recorded, so those of you who are joining for the first time, they're all recorded. We're being recorded now. I'll save the recording and they all get saved to and uploaded to our YouTube channel. So you can always go back to YouTube and check out all of the Hangouts that we've ever had. I don't know if we have that much time to spare, but if you miss one, you can always catch it there. And then the morning after the Hangout, I also send out the direct link to the YouTube, so you can access all of them if you missed a bunch, or you can just access the one you missed from the previous night.
Did William introduce himself? I wonder if I missed it.
Came in late, so you're welcome to introduce yourself, William. I'm going to add a quick thing just about posting. If you want, just reply back to the email. If you want to continue something that was being said in this Hangout, reply back to the Hangout email, the original one that I sent, and everybody will get it when you're replying to that group. And then, as Betsy said, go ahead and send out your questions. If there's anything you need help with, send a message out to the group, and somebody will get back to you pretty quickly. If it's not me or Ralph or Chinma, it will be somebody from the group. So make sure you're using that. So William, you want to introduce yourself?
Okay, thank you.
It really helps.
Thank you.
William, where do you teach?
I teach in Boston. I teach in Swampscott, which is in Massachusetts, North Shore.
All right, another Massachusetts guy.
Yeah, this is my first class in mobile CS, so we'll see what happens.
I'm at Deerfield, Mass.
Okay. So I'm sure, like I said, it's going to take, it's going to take a little while, but I'm not worried. Let's put it this way.
Well, we all help each other, William.
Yeah, thanks.
Did we hear from Greg?
Greg is here too. Oh no, did I miss you? Hi, Greg.
Greg, we can't hear you.
Okay, we'll talk to Greg and that time. Pauline, I think we should end.
Sounds
All
good.
right. Have a good night, everyone.
Thank you, everybody,
Thanks,
for
everyone.
joining in. It's been wonderful. Heather,
Bye.
thank you for your contributions.
Thank you.
Excellent job.
And watch Chinma's video.
Woo-hoo.
Yeah,
Chinma was in the college board video.
She's a celebrity now.
Oh,
I will
gosh,
watch
she's a
it.
movie
You watch
star.
it today. It's great.
Yeah, I look like one, don't I?
I want her autograph,
Paparazzi, Chinma, paparazzi.
I'll see you people in 2 weeks.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, all.
All right.